Hey everybody, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining Into the Core podcast with myself, Linda. I've got an amazing chef who we're going to be talking to, but before we get into that, we got to get into the core.
Into the core.
Get into it.
All good things in Africa and beyond. Into the core. All good things in Africa and beyond.
That's right. It's always about all good things in Africa and beyond. I'm really excited. So, best thing about my podcast is I get to curate and pick and choose who I want to speak to and who I feel like is an inspiration and who should be an inspiration. I know, Chef Wayne. So, we get to speak to an amazing chef who is the executive chef for Radisson Blu. So, welcome, Chef Wayne.
Yes, thanks. Appreciate it.
So, before we even get started, I feel like this is just a question that runs through everybody's head. Who powers our conversation and how do we actually make this happen? I will tell you who has, and it is Four Pillars Gin. I love my gin. Yes, I do. Yes, indeed. And so don't roll your eyes, but I do. And I really love this gin because it's a sustainable brand and it is one of my favorites. I'm torn between the olive leaf and the Shiraz, but Four Pillars, thank you for powering this conversation. I feel like I should be cheersing right about now, but Chef Wayne, why don't you start off by telling me just a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, how you got into the culinary world. It's always the same old question, especially when it comes to your background. But yeah, tell us a little bit about you, how you got started.
Yeah, listen, it was never my plan to become a chef. I had a bit of issues when I was in high school. I was asked nicely to leave at the age of 17, so I didn't even finish school. So when I left, I went straight to the army. I was there for a year. When I was working as a waiter in a Porthouse restaurant, which was a franchise restaurant in South Africa. I've done that for 4 years. And back in the day, in the 90s, South Africa had a lot of strikes and those sort of things, so stay away from work. And those days, what happened then is when the guys stay away, I used to go into the kitchen and work on the grill. They didn't pay me. I mean, I had I would say it was a problem. I like to drink, or I like to drink a lot. So that's how they pay me a booze. And I was very happy. It just came naturally. I was very fortunate. It was just a God-given talent. It came naturally to me. From there, I went on and I worked in a big factory where we cooked for about 1,500. From there, I moved on to the UK. That was in '95. Those days, really, this cell phones, internet things. We used to go through a magazine called the TNT magazine in London, and you just have a interview over the phone. You use a ticket box. What's a ticket box? A call box.
A call box, yes.
You have an interview and you bullshit it, and if you're lucky, you get the job. So yeah, I did that, and I was up north, up in the Midlands, down south. I did a few things in the UK. Back, worked for a few restaurants, hotels. I mostly worked for small boutique hotels, 5-star, 40, 60 rooms max. I worked for the first chateau property in South Africa, which was called Cybele Forest Lodge. We were voted one of the top 50 small hotels in the world. From there on, I worked for Freestar. I opened a few businesses which failed. I had a chicken, almost like a KFC. Didn't work. 5 months down the lane, company where I did outsourcing staff, waitering. That went well until, but that all went bust. The last thing I had before I came to Kenya, I had a restaurant, which was actually successful. The only thing is me and my partner, we didn't really see eye to eye. So when I got the offer to come this way, I did, and I sold shares and carried on with everybody's doing. Spent a lot of time in Zanzibar, half years in Zanzibar. And now I'm here. So I didn't go to culinary school. I didn't finish high school. I did all sorts of things in the UK to do what needs to be done. Why I did chefing, it's just because it came naturally to me. I had a talent, and I did a lot of reading and that sort of things to go to. I did a lot of bullshitting, actually. I mean, I didn't know nothing, but I went into the kitchen. But I worked hard. I made beds, I scrubbed toilets, I cleaned stuff. I read a lot, and I just pushed through. And that's what it is. It was hard work, but lots of long hours, lots of sacrifice. And now I'm here. So it can be done. You don't need to have a culinary degree or whatever you want to call it. I do have a diploma now, because obviously I did a portfolio of evidence, I think, in 2008, which was years after I started cooking.
Yeah.
But it just goes, you really put in the effort, and you have the passion, and you're willing to learn, and you're willing to go the extra mile. Anything's possible.
Did you have while you were teaching yourself and being around people who were the chefs and everything, was there somebody who stood out to you and who basically kind of pulled you into the ranks and said, hey, I'm going to put you under my wing, and I could see the skill set that you have, and so I'm going to give you a leg up?
The guy that I started cooking with was called Alan Buckstrom. He was from a small town where I grew up in Middelburg. He used to be the executive sous chef at the hotel where we used to go and eat lunch on a Sunday. So I bumped into him after school, and I said, listen, but don't you have work for me? And and he took me into one of his kitchens, and he basically taught me. And from there, it's just, here I am.
I think that's really fascinating, because I also just think that sometimes when things come, when you're interested in something, which I always think about the education system, is that you gotta own it, and practice as much as you can, to make it part of your life. So I love that, though. It's very inspiring to know that you've just picked up, and if you're good with it, run with it. Are there some crazy kitchens that you worked in while you were in Europe or in South Africa? Things that you were just like, this is hard knock life,
No, listen, the UK was a breezer. Those pommies, I don't know, those really chefs.
I love it.
But anyway, great people. England, South Africa, I've worked in a few harsh kitchens. I mean, I was fortunate enough, I climbed the ranks quite quickly. So I was head chef by the age of 23, 24. But those days, I thought I need to do everything. No one around me is competent. So if you don't do it yourself, it's not right, blah, blah, blah. So I had a lot of problems in the kitchen, because I was quite tempered, a bit aggressive, lots of swearing, throwing things. I had people against the wall, that sort of stuff. So it was really, at that young age, to have all that pressure. Maybe I was not ready for it, but it is what it is. I went through it. The industry those days, it was quite, what do you call it? I don't want to say gangster, but, we partied a lot, we worked hard, and that's basically. To today's, the industry has changed. The guys are a bit more, we need to be nice to the students. There's all these things that you need to follow. You
gotta be peace. I'm dying inside. Yeah.
So it's all about, it's not the money, it's the work conditions and all that sort of shit. So, listen, I worked in kitchens that was harsh, but I think most of the time I was the one being harsh. Bit me in the ass one twice. But the thing is, it also, the people that worked under me sort of appreciated, because today they're good chefs, and they thank me for the way I treated them. I had stewards who watched dishes that who are head chefs and sous chefs and stuff. And I was a bit of a young, and but they appreciate it. So that's the stuff I do. I mean, I never really had chefs and say, "Listen, here, come, let's do this." I used to do a lot of reading and a lot of experimenting. The thing what I think is good for me is because I haven't been to culinary school. There's no sort of strict line to follow, so I just can sort of put things together and say, "Oh, that works." So there's no really set rules. You need to make a sauce like this, or a bechamel like this, or a roux like this. I think that makes it, I don't know, that's beneficial for me because I
Yeah.
wasn't exposed to strange stuff and this and that. I just cooked because it was good. It was nice,
So I
and
would peg you. Go ahead.
that's how I cook. Because my philosophy is food doesn't have to be complicated to be good or interesting. For me, it's all about flavors, textures, seasoning at the right times, all that stuff. That makes a difference. You can take the simplest ingredients. If you cook it and I cook it and someone else cook it, it'll obviously, even if you have a recipe, it won't taste the same. It's about
Mm.
how you process, when you season, what you do with it.
So I would pick you into more into like the innovation and creativity because you like to work around things that are around you. Are you, do you follow any trends whatsoever? Like, you know,
Yes, obviously, yeah, I do follow trends. I mean, we see what's happening, what people want. This plant-based shit is a big thing at the moment. People want that. They want to eat healthy. So we need to adapt
mm,
basically to I mean, I don't cook for myself. Half the stuff I cook, I don't even eat. I promise you this. The stuff we do in Chop House, these gels and pills and smoke, and it's things that I don't eat. I mean, if you give me a piece of steak with pepper sauce, baked potato, sour cream, but I do try and keep it trendy. I like to use things that not everybody use. So I mean, we've
yeah,
got like ox tongue. It's an offal. What are you going to call it? I don't know what is it in English. Ox tongue. So that's something that I like to
yeah.
use. I like to use things that not everybody uses on a daily basis. And we make it interesting and tasty.
I know. So I would look at it and probably I hope it's not written ox tongue on the menu because I'll just be like, all right, yeah, passing on that one. But at the same time, I feel like that's just me. But I do feel like if you know, especially like what I've heard about your cooking is just it's how many people just rave about you. They're just like Chef Wayne, Chef Wayne, Chef Wayne. So when I did, this is the thing. I'm gonna throw myself into the deep end. I saw you and I was like, oh, that's that Gordon Ramsay chef looking guy. I've heard about him, and somebody said, yeah, that's Chef Wayne from Radisson. But it's the fact is that your reputation just precedes you. Every single person who has eaten, well, this is from the people who I know, inclusive of the Liz's, and everyone has just said, "Oh my gosh, his kitchen is amazing. You have to go up there. You have to taste his food. It's just one of a kind experience." So I'm just giving you your credit where credit should be given. So take your flowers. Considering that it's yeah. But here's my thing. So you don't eat that. What are some of the things that you cook at home? What do you have at home? What do you like to indulge in?
Yo.
Okay.
Me, I'll just listen. I don't really cook at home because I do it all day. So I'm happy to order in a KFC or whatever. Or otherwise, my wife cooks something, a pasta. I like to braai, which is barbecue. So I'll do that
Mm-hmm.
on the weekend. But otherwise, I'm happy with pasta, like a sandwich, anything. What garlic and sausage is also cool. We call it papa.
Oh, nice. Okay. I was gonna say, and is your wife, does she have a chef background, or did you teach her how to cook some?
The first thing she made me was she called it a stir fry, vegetable stir fry, but she put the veg in from frozen. She used frozen veg, so it was just basically a stir fry and soup. But no, listen, obviously I'm not there to teach or criticize, but obviously she's taken a few pointers from me So yeah, she can cook a
Um,
decent meal there.
Oh, I love that. I mean, like I was gonna say that a lot of the chefs that I know don't really like to cook a lot at home, and if you visit their houses, there's like absolutely nothing. It stuns me. It's shocking, but thank God you're married, because then this would be such a like a Debbie Downer right now. All the chicks will be like, "Damn, he's not even gonna cook for us." Um, what a
Else's food. I mean, doesn't matter what it is. People always, oh, but the chef is coming. We need to splash out. You don't have to. Just give us anything. It's nice. It's nice to eat someone else's food. It's nice not to worry about having to have it out on time, have it perfect, all that sort of stuff. We just eat whatever's given to us.
are you a perfectionist like in your kitchen?
Um, like I said, when I was younger, it was really bad, and I think
Mhm.
obviously it helped me where I am today. I think I've calmed down quite a bit. In Chop House, which is the fine dining restaurant,
Yeah.
yes, I'm very sort of yeah. There, I lose my shit quite a bit. But the other stuff like the larder, the buffets, and the dining, I'm a bit more. But when it comes to the fine dining, because that's our flagship, yeah, I'm quite strict there and a bit, yeah, attention to detail there makes a big difference because people are paying a premium, and we need to make sure that everything is spot on.
Would you like to give who on your team right now is standout? I'm sure everybody is, but if you were to pick a top three people who right now today, you know how every day it changes. Who are your top three
Hmm?
today?
Cooking wise,
Yeah. Oh, who in the kitchen?
yeah,
In the kitchen.
uh, I've got a good guy in Chop House. His name is Jeremy. He's quite cool. My sous chef Ben, he looks after the banquet stuff. He's very creative, a very good chef. And then I've got a guy called Roy, who's also in Chop House. He works the Jasper's, also a very talented guy. The guys are all young, early 20s or early to mid 20s.
Yeah. Completely
All local
soaking
guys.
up everything. Just oh, that's fantastic. So shout out to all of them, and we're definitely going to make our way out to you. What's the most rewarding part of your job?
Basically, for me, it is when I implement menus and when I design menu, I show the guys how to do it, and they actually go ahead, implement, and stay consistent and do as I've showed them. That is great because they basically they represent me on the plate. I mean, if they fuck it up, that means I look like the idiot. So for me, it's very, very, very sort of rewarding if I've been able to show them. They've taken up all that knowledge, they've and they actually duplicate it and make it the way I want them to make it. For me, that's the best.
I love that. Um, Most awkward thing that you've ever eaten,
Most awkward
or
thing.
weird, or um,
Mupani,
come again?
Mupani worms?
What's
Mupani
that?
worms?
Oh, ew. Okay, wait. Just the fact that you said worms, I'm just like, oh.
You deep fry. They're quite lekker. It's full of protein and stuff. It's a big fucking worm like this in South Africa. The locals, they
You're kind of in and out. Let's see.
take
Wayne.
them off and you
Sorry, your internet just kind of went in and out.
deep fry them. They're nice and crispy. Yeah, but that's not the worst.
It's not the worst thing in the world, is it? Okay.
Is
His
that better?
internet is. No. Okay, there you are. Yes.
Cool. Don't know what happened there. Sorry.
No problem. No problem. No problem. Okay, so because I know you've got like a lot of stuff. Favorite street food that you've enjoyed here in Kenya, or where in the world do you enjoy your street food? We've lost him.
I mean,
Can you hear me, Wayne?
I can hear you clearly. Thanks, man.
I know. Sorry about that. I was gonna say, where have you enjoyed your street food? What's your favorite street food?
My favorite street food.
Yeah. Do you ever have street food when you're out here in Nairobi? Have you gone into
Listen,
the
yeah,
kibandas, as we call them?
I know better. There's no way.
Hey.
No, this I have mama choma in one of a really local joint, which was different. I mean, here in
Mhm.
Kenya, like to meat to be chewy. The way I understand it, it needs to be tough. You need to feel that you're eating. And I had that local sausage that you put the in intestines and stuff. You know,
Mutura.
that, my word, I almost died. Yeah, that. I mean, good, good.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so I need to pull you away from there. Look, I feel like one of the things that I really want to ask is, because we're celebrating International Women's Month and women during the month of March, who are your favorite chefs? Female chefs. Do you have any, or do you
No, I don't.
celebrate any? Not really.
I really don't have any favorite female chefs. I mean, I take inspiration from everybody. I mean, I learn things from people who work in KFC or McDonald's or wherever. For me, I try and see what other guys are doing, or and, and just take stuff from them. If you know what I'm saying. So I will
Yeah.
never go recipes and things. I usually just go Google photos of food, because then I can see, oh, that guy put some spinach with that works with that dish, or he puts this with that. So then I sort of come up with my own sort of thing. But chefs I really liked in the past was Gary Rhodes.
Okay.
He
South
was
Africa.
quite good. No, he was a British chef actually from the UK.
Okay. Okay.
Really good. Yeah. I must say I like the old Jamie Oliver as well, with all this spitting over the food and that stuff when he talks. It's fine. He also keeps it. Remember when I was younger, started out on TV. Geez, it was everywhere. But yeah, he's actually okay, because his food is, you can see he cooks it with love. Gordon Ramsay, I don't know if he can. I don't know. I mean, he's good on TV. I don't know what his food's.
Oh, that's true. But I think I tried to mock how he makes his steaks, but I don't know if I've really gotten there. I like to cook, but I also just don't think that I have the knack for the kitchen in that sense. I do love to cook though, but I think I over season everything. I'm one of those. I'm like, oh, we're gonna try this and we're gonna try this. Oh, and I gotta try this. This is me. So there's
Nothing wrong with that, I guess.
I just over season everything. So if we ever invited you over, it would be like over seasoned food, but it always comes out tasting good. Um, so tell me one of the things right now that you are pushing for Chop House, and if you could just give me like what what should people come and expect? Like if they were coming to Chop House right now, what are some of the things that you would want them like must-haves on the menu?
Must-haves on the menu, definitely our pork belly, which is great, because
Okay.
what I do with the pork belly, I'll just explain to you quickly how I do it. I mix soy sauce, a bit of honey, ginger, garlic, thyme, and Coca-Cola, and then we put it in the oven for 2.5 3 hours, compress it, and then after that, we take it out and we portion it. And then what I've done, I've made a black apple syrup, burnt apple syrup. So We take the apple with the skin on and we burn it on the flame, and then turn that into savannah butter, stuff like that, and we serve it with um, vanilla scented crackling. So we take the skin of the pork, we boil it for 3 hours so it's very very soft. Take all the excess fat off, dehydrate it in the oven, smoke it with vanilla, and then deep fry it so it becomes nice and crispy. So that's one of our best dishes. And another dish that's very very good is our smoked duck. I
Oh,
smoke.
okay.
I, first I cure it for 3 4 days. Then I smoke it with orange rooibos tea and some fragrances, and then we serve it with a beetroot foam, mango gel, all that sort of stuff. And one thing that's also very very nice is the Mombasa crab. So what I've done
Oh,
is I've bultini, so it's a beef carpaccio, and then we wrap the crab in the beef, and then we serve that with soy pulls. Uh, we make crackers with tapioca. So we boil the tapioca, spread it out, mix it with a bit of squid ink, so it's
mm.
nice. Deep fried becomes crunchy, and then a green mango gel and some peach tendrils. That's quite nice. So there's a lot of
Oh,
stuff we do. Is I play around with flavors quite a bit. There's a lot of some when we serve dishes with the dry ice, we always make sure that the dry ice, the smell that comes out complements the dish. So if it's a dessert and it's chocolate, we'll have orange zest. So when you put the dessert on, you get the orange smell of the
no.
chocolate. It's a bit of show. Choppers is a whole experience. You don't just come there for a quick meal. It takes a couple of hours to get through it because there's a lot of detail that goes into showmanship and that sort of stuff. We want people to have a good experience. Nice
Yeah,
environment, good wine, great food, something that you're not going to have somewhere else in Kenya or in
I love
Nairobi.
it. I love it. I've got a group of people who are coming in April, so we're gonna see if we could bring in some of those editors to come and experience Chop House.
Great,
So,
because what a nice tasting menu for you guys. 3 or 4 course.
abs-
You experience sort of everything from beginning to end. Yeah, it'll be nice.
abs- absolutely. I appreciate your time, and I just feel like right now I have to round off. But any final last words that you want to have? I told you just short, sweet. I just wanted to get to know who you were, but I love the fact that you've had a renegade background, and you're one of the inspiring people for me. I mean, like I'm like, okay, so now I'm definitely coming through.
No, you should have. Well, that's another who your audience is. But if there's young chefs out there, people who want to cook, who want to become chefs, it's not easy. But if you put through, anything's possible. You don't need to be a fucking scientist, to be the cleverest in your class to be a good chef. It's all about passion and attitude. I always say, if you got the right attitude, you got passion, and skills will teach you. That's basically it. But if you want something, then you need to put in the hours and go and get it. It's not just going to fall into your lap. I can't make anybody a good chef. Your future's in your hands. The more you put in, obviously, the more you'll achieve at the end of the day. That's basically what it comes down to.
Absolutely. I love that. I love it. This is what it's supposed to be about. It's always about inspiring and, of course, giving you an open door to some of my faves out there. So here he is, Chef Wayne. And we definitely will come out and check you out at Chop House. But I really appreciate your time. And kudos to you and your team for doing a fantastic job. And I'm just so happy that you gave me a chance to come on to Into the Core. I'm super, super humbly appreciative of it. Thank you.
It's thank you for having me. It's awesome. It's been great. It's been a pleasure.
Uh, Thank you. And of course, again, thank you to Four Pillars for powering this conversation. I'm super appreciative. I feel like I need one right now, and especially because of this amazing conversation that I've had. But I really thank you. And we're going to take it from here. Next week, we're going to be talking to Michelle from Tarangao. So make sure you Keep it locked in. She's got an amazing wellness retreat that is in Kilifi. Oh my gosh, Chef Wayne, we have to do something at Tarangao. I promise you, we have to. I'm getting you on board that. So, okay, sending you guys love. Thank you so much for being here for Into the Core. Cheers.
Yes, thanks so much. Ciao.
Thank you.